Let's bring in Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, I'm going to go to church. This is sinful, what the Democrats have done to these children. And the Republicans are the only ones who have called attention to it.
You're absolutely right. We've known for years what the Democrats have done using children to fulfill their dreams of wide open borders and massive amnesty. At the beginning of the Biden administration, their rule was as long as there are unaccompanied minors, they get to come into the country no matter what. Then they expanded it. And what we know is that you had children being used by the drug cartels, being used by the coyotes, not just to smuggle children into the United States, but to also smuggle adults in the United States. The Biden administration stopped DNA testing at the southern border, where you could quickly figure out if the adult with the child was actually a family member or a parent, actually related. They got rid of that. And then once they're here in the United States, they lost more than 300,000 children. This is obscene. It is disgusting. It is irate. And it is one of the reasons why the American people are correct in demanding that our border is secured. Because it's not just about the illegal alien men that are in the country. It is the children who have been abused in one of the greatest humanitarian crises that has been all man-made by Joe Biden and the Democrat Party.
And you know, the woman that we saw in that soundbite at the top, Tyra Rhodes is her name. She's a whistleblower. She goes even further than you just did. She says that HHS is really complicit. They're a part. They play the middleman in the trafficking of these children by going out, not really doing the vetting, not only on the kids but on the sponsors. She mentioned one sponsor that had signed on for 2,500 children. What's that about? Obviously, a sponsor can only care for a few children at a time. 2,500. How are we going to track down these so-called sponsors?
Listen, the reality is that they never wanted to track down anybody. We've known for quite some time that when they started with migrant children, they were building tent facilities and using hotels all across the United States to spread these children out because they didn't want the pictures and the videos of kids in cages. That was step one. Step two, HHS came in and would take custody of these kids after about 72 hours from Border Patrol. Then what HHS would do is that they would help these kids find the next of kin. But again, if you're not doing DNA testing, how do you know if they're a next of kin? Three, people could come, and I say people, not citizens, people could come to these shelters and claim these kids without any justification of who the adult actually was. And we already know of the reports where kids were just getting up and leaving these facilities on their own. And the worst part of this is these kids have been trafficked into sex slavery. They've been trafficked into servitude of the drug cartels or other nefarious organizations, all because the Democrats have the most radical border policies in the history of our country. It is truly insane.
To add to that insanity, Congressman, the morning that President Trump won the presidency for a second time, you had Democrats and their followers talking about internment camps that were going to be opened, people talking about, I'll be in the streets, you know, protecting children from deportation. Again, where have they been the last 4 years? Where is the outrage and upset from these people who stood by and allowed this to happen and didn't say a word about missing kids and just, again, women and children drowning once the border was open almost 4 years ago?
No, you're exactly right. Add to that the kids who were lost, who died in the back of tractor trailers being driven from our southern border due to heat exhaustion. You got to add that to it. You got to add the young girls who have been raped in the journey to our southern border, sold into sex slavery. All those things have occurred. We've all known that's been the case, but HHS and the Department of Homeland Security under Joe Biden and the radical left simply did not care. They like to feign outrage about kids in cages, but they will not talk about the children who've been lost, more than 500,000 now, who have been lost down the rabbit hole under criminal cartels, and
Congressman,
our government has been complicit.
very quickly, I just want to switch gears because after 4 years of the biggest price jumps, at least in groceries and the items that we rely on, that we've seen in 45 years, Elizabeth Warren comes out with an ex-post. And I just want to read it. She says, she's talking about Trump wanting to increase the cost of health care and increasing grocery bills after they had this huge increase in grocery bills. Everybody knows it's true. Now she's blaming the incoming Trump administration for rising prices of food.
America, Elizabeth Warren has no credibility. Everything that Joe Biden did, she signed off on. She was for it the entire time. We are going to get this economy under control, stabilize prices, lower prices in a lot of areas, and that is because of the policies and the leadership of Donald Trump. Do not listen to Elizabeth Warren. She's the one that made your groceries far too expensive, as well as your health care.
Congressman Byron Donalds, great to see you.
Thanks,
and
sir.
also, you'll be protecting children. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.